Hello, beautiful friends. I just want to share something. It's time to let go of the doubt and the guilt and the shame that has been holding you down. Truly. Again, speaking to people that are very empaths or sensitive, people that probably tend to scapegoat themselves all the time, even just internally. Where is that coming from? Where is it coming from? Trying to keep you in shame. And let's be really clear, because you might not always feel shame as an obvious, this is shame. But just the times you're too embarrassed or too scared to just be who you really are and be seen for who you are and accept who you are, like, out loud. There's a lot of different ways shame can come up. Just feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like something's wrong with you, feeling like guilty for existing. A lot of times it comes down to that, feeling just not worthy of anything better. But where does that come from? God does not want you to live in shame. If you ask God, as I have, about shame, God just wants to lead you on a straight, narrow path out of your shame. So what are these thoughts, these energies, these forces, these things that are trying to keep you in shame? It's time to let the shame go. And I'll just give a quick tip. Working with shame, when shame comes up, you really have to hear the shame to heal the shame. Listen to it and love it. And it takes time often. You have to be patient with shame because it's so ashamed that it's hiding. It's been shamed so much by whether it's your parents or people in your life, and then eventually you, your own inner shamer, shaming it so much it's usually scared to really come out. I've noticed it takes a couple days sometimes, but just be patient with it. And instead of treating this shame like this horrible, like, demon child, like, treat your shame as you would treat a child, lovingly, forgivingly, acceptingly, gently, encouraging. And just love that part of you. Love that shamed part of you. And even love that shamer part of you. And what I've noticed is when you do that and you commit to that shame just starts to it comes up and it kind of just starts to melt. And I have found that it melts into the most beautiful parts of you. That there was never anything wrong with those parts of you. And again, those are the parts of you that you've been protecting the most. And I think it's very courageous and beautiful to let those parts come out, again, by loving them, encouraging them, and again, letting God work, calling God in to help you. It's the best modality if there ever was one, just going straight to God and trust and be patient and sit with it. Sit with that. That's what I've had to do. and you'll feel it. You'll feel that total like recalibration in your nervous system, in your body, in your mind, and you can't control it, and you don't force it. You don't really need to do anything but surrender to God and really listen and see what God is asking you to do. And being humble, not trying to take the wheel back from God. I feel like that's where we're at right now. You know, for a while it was like, it felt like we were having to, our conscious mind was having to take the wheel from our ego self oftentimes, you know, when we were going on autopilot in that way. And I feel like, you know, now it's like the next level. It's like, now you need to give that wheel to God. Jesus, take the wheel. It's funny, it always comes up. But truly give that wheel to God and be humble. And that might trigger the ego, because the ego doesn't want to give that up. But it's not that you're giving up your life. You're reconnecting with who you really are. And this is just a part of you in a way that's so much greater, so much wiser, so much more loving, so much more understanding. And how do you connect with that interface? By calling it in, by listening to it, by trusting it, because that's just how you, it's by doing that you're going to build that trust again and deeper, you know, and remember God and remember who you really are, and allow this higher part of you to actually come online. And it operates completely different. It doesn't operate with the programmed mind. Like, the programmed mind serves it. It doesn't necessarily serve the programmed mind. It tries to help the programmed mind find its way out of the labyrinth, but the mind is meant to serve the spirit. And again, to do that, the mind has to surrender. And that's, you know, just something that I've been really learning on a deeper level. That's what, for me, it means to put God first, to start practicing really putting God first with everything, every decision, like small or large, and just being in tune with that and having that discernment. And if you make mistakes, like, don't beat yourself up and go into the shame, because that's just a silly, you know, you can feel the shame, but when you make mistakes, it's not about casting you into the hell of shame forever. It's about learning and getting back up, you know, and being a testament to what's possible, because God's always going to come. It's like, you know, on Mario Kart, if you go off the track, like into the water, into, you know, oblivion, it doesn't matter. Like, those little helicopter things are going to come get you and set you right back in the middle of the path. That is what God can do. Doesn't matter how freaking lost you are, what like insane madness you have managed to put yourself in. When you truly give your heart and mind to God, God will snatch you up out of anything. And any person that has been in the hell realms and come out of it alive knows that. That's why they're usually very God, you know, they're very present with God, because they felt that. And we all are that. We all can feel that. And you don't have to be on rock bottom to feel that. It can happen anytime, and it's always right now, because there only is now. Now is the time to reach out to God, and don't have these crazy expectations of what it should or shouldn't be. You have to be patient and just like trust what's like unraveling, and be patient and let God hold you and ask God to guide you, to be a vessel for God. And you'll come to find that that's the most blissful experience there is, actually. You know, I think that's the point we're at, many of us, is just understanding and coming back into divine will, because that's just the greatest joy there is. The ego mind doesn't understand that. The ego mind thinks that that's slavery, but really the ego mind is slavery. The ego mind has to completely do everything it can to justify its false existence. It's not real. Coming back to God and what I'm saying is liberating. It's liberating of all the restrictions and weirdness and trauma and stuff that's bogging you down and keeping you in this dense reality. generating it. You don't even know it. That's how deep we're programmed. It's trippy. And there's no thing, there's no man or woman or ideology or anything that's gonna pull you up out of your labyrinth directly into truth like God. You know? Who wants to fuck around? I feel like we've already fucked around and found out. At what point do we just come back to God, you know? What point have you suffered enough? At what point have you experienced enough delusions to just want to come to the truth? And you're still in this earth, but now you get to play the game the way it was designed to be played, instead of just getting played by the game with your mind taking you on these crazy rides all the time. So now is the time to release your shame. Now is the time to release your shame. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. That's what it feels like. That's how it feels for me. It's just like so dense. And it's like a death and a rebirth to let it go. Your whole identity is like, but you're reborn. It's worth it. And I really would love to see more people. How would people be if they didn't have their shame? Especially people listening. So many beautiful, incredible people out here. I don't even know, I don't know what you guys are doing. But I know you're out here doing amazing things you probably don't even realize just by being you. Literally, just by being you. It's incredible. Like, what you're radiating is so beautiful and pure. And yet, many of you are the ones carrying around this shame. Because these old programs and demonic forces are trying to hold you back in any way that they can, because that's how powerful you are. Just remember that. It's not the truth. It's not the truth. Those voices will try so hard, whatever they are, wherever they're coming from, to pull you back from rising up into who you really are, which is powerful, and remembering who you are in God, which is everything you want. That's really what it is. Oh, spoiler alert, like aligning with God is everything you really want and more. It's not how religion has made it. It's not like you're singing dirges in the dark and being depressed. Being bored or whatever it is. Like when you're really aligned with God in your own way, in your own body, there's no high, there's no material experience, there's no anything that's gonna... All of that stuff is just mimicking the true high of knowing you're one with God. And that's just our amazing, beautiful journey that we're on right now, is humbly realizing that it's almost it's not just the beginning, but in a way it's almost just the beginning of us really remembering this in an embodied way in our DNA. It's very exciting what's happening right now. So yeah, I'll say it again, just release, it's time to release the shame. That's just the biggest message coming through. It's coming off naturally. Just let it. There's really nothing you need to do besides just let it, and ask God to come in and help you, and just let it come off. It might be instant, it might take, a little time, but it'll come off. And, that'll be a whole new experience. So much love to all of you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for shining, and I know sometimes it feels like thankless work, but just know that it is noticed, it is recognized, it is appreciated, and it 100% is going to be rewarded, if I can even say that. Not that we do it for the reward, but there's a reason that things happen the way they do, and just trust it and release that shame and tap into God now, and you're already free. You're already free.